6 series. So far in the group, just to give you guys an idea of how things are going, we haven't seen any matches from Ziggy yet. We're going to be casting all 4 of Ziggy's matches in just a little bit. But so far, MC is 2-2, Alive is 3-1, Solo's 3-1, Solo of 0-4, and Ziggy obviously 0-0. So top 3 players advancing. Looks good for the Koreans at the moment, but we'll keep our eyes on it and see how it goes, because just after this series, we'll be halfway through the group. Okay, so getting this going, you see the swap players around. There we go, and we're on Black Baroque. So the last time we saw this, unfortunately, it got proxy raxed on. Hopefully we get to see something a little bit longer this time around. And with the way these guys have been playing today, I'd say we've got a pretty good chance of Solo MC going a little bit longer here. So getting this set up. I'm just going to be seeing the spawning pool starting up in the back of that main base probe. Moving around a little bit as well, just nibbling some of these minerals here and there. And yeah, just going to see that Nexus dropping down the natural. So players just expanding here on Black Baroque, which is this nice larger map made by Zweck, and excited to see what it comes up with. Alright. Just give me a quick sec, guys. Just again have to sort something quickly out on the second screen. I know this is never ideal. It's just the way the tournament's running. It's important to do it so we get the rest of the tournament continuing. Boom, there we go. Alright, just need those couple moments every now and then just to keep things moving along nicely in terms of the tournament. Just doing some multitasking here on the adminning and stuff like that. Why not, you know? Why not? Alright. All good, all good. And let's talk a bit more about this game then. Perfect. So, Stalker being chrono boosted out. I'm trying to see if MC does the same sort of robo first build again, where he does bypass the kind of initial setup. This wall off is interesting. Is this a free building wall, or is it a bit too large for that? Might be a bit too large if a gate comes here. Maybe it is okay, actually. Maybe it is alright. I guess we'll see very soon. Robo does come up in the main base, though, so MC opted for the Robo facility early on. As you just see the Overlord coming through the center, and the Pro from MC just taking the Watchtower for a moment. The Stalker up the right-hand side as well. Just also looking to see what's good. And just take that Watchtower for a quick moment or so. So both, you know, just checking there's nothing around, trying to see if there's Overlord position or anything. First Overlord of Solar has been tagged a little bit and is hiding off to the corner. Now, that's a big gap, isn't it? So you'll have to throw down the pylon here to finish the wall off, which is never great in case of a Balin bust or so. Although MC's build seems very safe against the Balin bust because he gets the sentry up early, because he builds up sentry energy very early in the game. So he kind of goes blind sentry, which would obviously help a little bit to kind of block those Balins off, buy you some time. And there's the first Immortal, chrono boosted out again. So the same build from MC is what we saw in the last couple games, which is fine. I mean, new opponent, right? And it was working out for him against sort of as well. So definitely intrigued to see what happens this time around. Bacon Hero coming in with the sub. Thank you so much. I'm sure you already have a sub though, so I'm not sure what that's about. Or is it, has the sub just been a lie all this time? Dun dun dun. Thank you so much for subscribing though, dude. Appreciate it. As you see the Twilight Council dropping down. Going to be seeing the couple of extra simulators coming through here. Finishing up in a moment or so. The lair about halfway done at the moment. So sort of a fairly fast lair will be obviously good because you will have detection available against the DTs, which MC seems to like going into as a bit of a follow-up here. And the Lings of Solar coming down the right side. That makes these Stalkers, means these Stalkers are in a bit of danger. They just killed an Overlord, which is a nice pick-off, but for two Stalkers, maybe not quite so worthwhile. I think trying to choke them up to maybe recall them back into the main. First one should die. Second one will get back. So Stalker for an Overlord is the trade here. Again, it's not super pretty or anything. Let's see what happens if this Prism loads up and goes across, because is he really going to run right into those Lings? No, not just yet. He shouldn't run through the Watchtower, though. This just gives Solar information that he shouldn't really have. So that Watchtower is going to be able to see this. Again, I feel like that is a bit of a mistake at the moment. And we've seen the Overseer hanging out, and again the Prism about to arrive. Now Solo's just started to make the first few roaches here, which is very typical of like, yep, let's get ready for the Archon drop, but it's actually Immortals. It's like, boom, surprise. Well, what now? See a drop a load from Solo as well. I'm really excited to see that come into play into the main base. Trying to get some damage done himself while pushing this Immortal force back. I mean, this is the issue with an Immortal drop initially rather than Archons. You're not very good against Zerglings. Like, if this was Archons, those, you know, couple of units take so much damage. Those things go down in one splash, right? Rather than now, they go down so much slower with every Immortal attack only doing half the health of a Zergling. Things in the main base, MC lost one Immortal too. I think was distracted elsewhere. I mean, he's good to defend the main at least, so he will get rid of that Overlord. He'll get rid of these Zerglings. So it's a good defense at least, on top of the fact good Force Field 2 stops the Lings escaping. It's a good defense to make up for an unsuccessful attack across the map so far, as Solar already going up in towards the Hydra. So 7 Hydras in production, plus 1 missiles, Groove Spines on the way at the moment as well. As the War Prism unloading a few of these Dark Templar, they're going to move straight into Archons. He sees the Overseer, so he knows there's no messing around with getting the DTs in the other side. The Overseer has Pneumatized Carapace as well. It is speeding around the main base, so keeping the scouting up and making sure he always knows what he's up against. A few Lings hanging out in the bottom left-hand side then. Perhaps ready to move by in a moment or two. Sorry for a little coughing, guys. I think I picked up a little bit of illness over the weekend. There's 2 Archons. They're going to come through. And they will kill that Overlord. It's a nice pick off on the Overlord as the Archons lift him back up. And the Zerglings of Solar still moving around, ready to push forwards through the center. Units of MC just hanging out to the left as well. And they want to try and get back in the action here too, I think. Just make sure you can pick off those Lings. This third base coming up nice and safely. Again, very large map, very easy to take free base, because this third base, you know, you kind of sit here, right? And it's either a ramp you've got to defend, or you defend the front of your natural anyways. So, again, more of a macro-focused map. It comes in on the macro category. Archons dropping down, and they will actually intercept those Zerglings running back through the middle. So this is a really nice play by MC. Just putting those Archons into a nice, useful little spot. Gets that second Robo facility up. We have seen earlier on today the, you know, lack of a second Robo maybe slowing MC down if Lurkers came into play. This is not Lurkers, but extra Immortal production is never going to be a bad thing. Immortals are so good in this matchup. So good in this matchup. There's +2 attack, Storm on the way down. Just going to be seeing the Overseer. He's trying to be sniped down. He will get it. Well, just before this attack comes in. Solar only on 60 drones, so it's definitely built up a lot into this. Storm is not going to be ready for this fight either. And it's little things like having lost the Immortal from MC that's maybe going to cost him a lot when it comes to this fight. He breaks down these rocks so these units can reinforce a little bit faster. He's got 1 cannon over this side. Storm is 40 seconds away from finishing. Even with Chrono Boost, that's a long time to try and hold on. First thing's going down. The Force Fields are pretty good, I feel, but the Zealots, well, they go down pretty quickly as well. Extra Lings running to the side. There's just so many Hydras and Roaches left over. Maul's popping out. He needs more Zealots in here now. Like, right now. And they do start a charge on in. As the Hydras, though, their DPS, I think, is a bit too much without Storm being available. Nice Contaminate on the Robo as well. Maybe blocked an Immortal from coming out there, or definitely would have delayed another one. So just delays that quite a bunch. Going to be seeing the Roaches, the Hydras continue to push through. Probe's starting to fall. I mean, at this point, how do you ever get enough up to defend this as MC? You probably just don't. And Solo with the 60 worker attack straight through here. I guess this position is very powerful for these sort of attacks, right? Because the third off to the side, you get here for the Roach Hydra, and then you do have to kind of attack in from one direction or the other with your army. And the kind of Zerg has that concave where you can hit one base or the other if you're not defending properly, right? So you want to call it. Top left-hand side, down a map, our blue Protoss player. This is MC. And at the bottom right-hand side, the red Zerg, we have got ourselves Solar. Joined TSG, which is a Chinese team. Again, we're talking about that hype of a Chinese Pro League starting up, so exciting for that. Excited to see how that turns out, hopefully in the near future as well. So game number 2, and we've obviously got this map to look at a little bit, so you can see very narrow pathways here with these inhibitor zones to slow down movement across the map. Oh, MC drops a Forge. Ooh, MC. Cannon Rush, or is he just going to do something really funky? Scouts around in the main, as we are going to be seeing the hatchery on the natural. Well, I mean, he's going to put down a pylon in the back. I mean, pylon here, and then he can cannon. Doesn't need to wall it off just yet, because Solar doesn't see it, although he's starting to wonder, where's that probe gone? And he's going to see it now. I wonder how you wall this off. The cannon here has got not much surface area on, but still a bit. Okay, Overlord sees this. Drone's coming down. First cannon there, and then you can wall off here. Yeah, that's got very little surface area on it. Okay, well, that makes sense. Well, cannon's coming up on the natural from MC. Into a gate already back at home, so he's got a follow-up to this coming through pretty quick. He's not completely, committed just to the cannon rush, although he is hoping that this is somewhat successful. Spawning pool going to finish in a moment or so. What's up, Devil's Fire, for the 18-month resub? Thank you so much for that Twitch Prime. Appreciate it. Got some hype in the chat for Devil's Fire for these guys. That's a cancelled hatchery. And the third base going to be built up instead. And the thing is with this cannon positioning here, MC is not going to deny drones or units coming out on the map. It's just to force a cancel here. And he actually cancels his other cannons. This only costs him 250 minerals. Obviously doesn't cost Solar much at all, because he's got the, he cancelled. So, overall, I mean, it's a bit of an annoyance. It's not going to change the game too much. MC's Nexus was also delayed. So, while Solar's base was delayed, so was MC's. I'm going to say the one thing for MC is he still has this gateway coming up fairly quickly. So, getting this set to go in a moment or so. Cyber Core is about to finish. As the probe just hanging out on that bottom left-hand watchtower. Adept starting to build, and we'll try and fill this gap up on the top side. So trying to fill that little gap here as we see the ling speed again just over halfway done at the moment. Looks like we're going to have the lings and the queen to break out on the low ground, as this actually cost him a few lings though, so kind of getting a few kills. 5 lings going down actually. That's kind of costly. That's very costly. I wonder if the queen couldn't have just killed this pylon initially. I guess he just doesn't want to take damage on the hatchery, and that's the issue. He wants that down ASAP, so for him, losing a few zerglings to get the hatchery down as soon as possible is just worthwhile. That's definitely what we kind of ended up seeing there. Stargate just over halfway done by MC as well. Stargate just over halfway done at the moment. We see Chrono Boost on the Nexus. Continue to pump out some probes. Gates again, continuing up at the moment. Stargate about to finish in the main base. As you do see that single Zergling coming over, we'll start to nibble on that probe. So a couple of shots there. Probe gets pushed away off the watchtower. Surprised he doesn't chase the probe down, but I guess he just really wants to be able to see what's going on. Haven't seen much usage of these couple of inhibitor zones yet. Will be interesting to see if that comes in later on. It's obviously one of these maps which is much less focused around the inhibitor zones. It's much more focused on the idea of kind of, it's much more focused on the idea of kind of just being a good map, and it still kind of creates complexities with this though, right? As the game goes by, there's these couple of rocks as well, and actually killing these will really speed up progress through the map, so then you're not slowed as much by the inhibitor zones here as you kind of are at the moment, which means you have to go all the way around. 2 Adepts want to shade in as the Oracle is moving forwards, going to arrive in a moment or so as the Adepts. Well, they're caught by Zerglings already. 1 Queen in the natural expansion. Oracle sees only 1 Queen though and sees that's an opportunity to get some drone kills, and he gets 3, so actually not that bad. A couple of people just asking what these zones do. They slow down ground and air units by 35%. So it's just a straight up slow in terms of movement speed, not attack speed, just movement. Oracle pops up and does pick off a Zerglin here. This makes a bit of noise, doesn't it? I know, yeah, that makes a lot of noise. Second Oracle came out as well, and we're going to be seeing a second Stargate as a follow-up to this. Interesting. Usually a second Stargate would mean double Stargate Phoenix. If you go double Stargate Phoenix, you don't generally build 2 Oracles early game because you just don't really need the 2 Oracles early game. The double Stargate Phoenix basically allows you to kind of get away with this anyways, and just sort of, yeah, the second Oracle basically gives you a lot of, kind of information with those revelations. It just doesn't need it when you have double Stargate Phoenix. I guess the other thing is though, it will keep you safe taking a 3rd base, but then it also delays the double Stargate Phoenix, right? And that's the other issue. The longer it takes to get those double Stargate Phoenix up, the less energy the Phoenix have, the later you start harassing. All of that adds into the fact that then the double Stargate Phoenix is not going to be able to be as effective as it might usually be. Those Lings go through the inhibitor zone not once but twice. Like, ooh, that felt funky. Slow down time. The Oracle's diving in. Well, they will get a couple more drones. Only 3, actually. Maybe expecting a bit more. He needs to be careful even here because he doesn't want to fly through the spore. A lot of dead airspace here. Oh. And you know what we haven't done just yet today? We haven't looked at the kind of edges of the map, but this side of this map's pretty cool, man. So we've got that infestor in the tank. That happens on Parasite as well, right? We've got these brambles and stuff. That's pretty cool. We're going to look at all the edges of the map at some point. I think one of my favorite things about seeing new maps is how creative the map makers are with their designs and making the maps look good. Because I have to say, all the maps that usually make it through into this stage of the TLMC, they usually look like amazing. Like it's really impressive that they go through the effort of making it look so good, so awesome, very aesthetically pleasing all the time. And I mean, yes, it sucks because someone submitted a map which literally has a disco dance floor, and your map's never going to look as good as that. But they still try. That's... I can't believe we have a map that has a disco dance floor, guys. The first series today, I'm sure we'll see it more throughout the day or maybe tomorrow. I'm excited to see some units dancing on the dance floor. I'm ready for it. A couple of Immortals are chrono boosting out at the moment, so robot facilities getting put to use. As we see the Lurker Den dropping down on the 3rd base. Phoenix from MC moving through the center, and we'll come in to pick up a little bit of a drone there, so drone getting lifted. So Mycosis, thank you for the 5-month free sub. Disco PogChamp. Let's do it. It wasn't even a PogChamp. I got my emotes wrong. God damn it, Wardy. What are you playing at? Twitch streamer gets the emote name wrong. Aye, yeah. Anyways, Phoenix moving around. Let's pick up a Ling or so around the top, as we do see now Lings and Hydras running around over to the left. Pressing through here. These things are really loud. They're really cool, but they're really loud. You see the stasis wall capture just a couple of Lings. Solo cutting at 56 drones again, putting himself in a little bit of a tough spot where he's, really reliant on dealing damage. Lings on top of Immortals up there, pretty good. All the Hydras are being picked away by Phoenix because they're getting split up a little bit. And MC, I think, is holding on at the moment. Really good lifts on the Hydras, and well, the low ground is starting to run out of kind of fighting force, but the Immortals here are starting to push down to the low ground, so MC will clean up and Solo will not be able to break through here. Good defense by MC, and Solo going to get pushed away. MC looking to take the map in these 2 games against Solo, get himself a point on the board for this. Phoenix coming through and picking up one last Hydra towards the end there. It's going to be seeing the couple of extra Lurkers starting to build in. +1 attack upgrade on the Forge. Charge starting up as well. And there's extra couple of Immortals being added in from the Robo facilities. Shield batteries here. Healing up a couple more of these Immortals on the left-hand side. Ling is running down, picks up another probe. And there's Phoenix still flying around in the center. As you see Lings, Hydras, and Lurkers from Solar all coming across towards the upper left-hand side. Coming in right away there, picks up one of the Phoenix. I mean, that's a big deal. The Lurker follow-up is obviously quite powerful, but there is a lot of Immortals. Gets an Observer up. Oh, he must have lost the Oracle from the defense before, right? Oh my god, look at that whole position just out of range of the Lurkers. Losing Phoenix sucks, because he could have used the Phoenix to lift up some of the Lurkers. By lifting the Lurkers, you unburrow them, right? And then they can't fire as easily. So we are going to be seeing the Immortals still in such good numbers. They need just a couple more units to help defend. Observers are coming out en masse, so you can actually kind of have extra Observers in case they get targeted down by the Hydras like that, because then you don't have the protection for the Lurkers. MC is still holding this position, and with Charge coming up, +2 on the way, MC has time right now. If MC can survive, the game is better, better off for it in his eyes. He's going to come around in all angles onto this army. Queens are even brought across the map as well, as Solo is desperate to break through this here. The Observer being kept out of position. Oh my god, finally goes down though. So Observer taken down again. I mean, all of this time spent building Observers is time where you're not spending it building Immortals. So no Immortal production for a little while. That actually really hurts MC, as those Lurkers are still so well protected. Immortals now have to run away. Tell you what, this 3rd base down in this low ground is actually in such a weird spot compared to how far away the natural is. I'm surprised MC actually expanded here to begin with anyways. Gets in there, kills a Lurker. Finally a Lurker goes down, as Zelds will charge through too before reinforcements get here. And that's huge for MC in terms of holding this up. This was a scary little fight, and it was a scary hold. He's able to make it work, and MC will take game 2 of this series, and that